All right, let's get right into it. We're about to take a hard look at the future of cybersecurity, pulling from some really powerful insights from Google Cloud and Mandiant. And just so we're clear, this isn't about the next software patch. Nope. This is about the next playbook for every single security leader looking ahead to 2026. You know, this quote right here, it just sets the stage perfectly. For years, our whole mindset has been about building walls to keep attackers out. But think about this. What happens when the main attack isn't some brute force breach anymore? What if they can just log in using legitimate stolen credentials? That one little shift changes absolutely everything. So we've hit this huge inflection point. And this isn't just about attackers getting a shiny new toy. No, AI is fundamentally rewriting their entire strategy. They're using its incredible speed and scale to turn our most trusted systems, our own productivity tools, right back against us. So, how do we fight back? Well, we can't just do more of the same and hope for the best. The strategic answer is a huge pivot to a framework they're calling modern defense. So over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack the 5 essential pillars of this strategy, each one designed for this brand new security landscape. First up, Pillar 1. This one reimagines the very heart of security operations, the SOC. But forget the SOC you're used to. We are talking about the rise of the Agentic SOC. Now, what I love about this is the stark contrast it shows. The old SOC model, it has our best analysts literally drowning in data, manually hunting through endless alerts. The Agentic SOC flips that script completely. Your analysts stop being just responders. They become strategic architects, directing entire fleets of specialized AI agents that do all the heavy lifting. And the end goal here, I mean, it is absolutely transformative. We're talking about automating anomaly detection on a massive scale, slashing response times from hours down to seconds, and freeing up your brilliant human talent to focus on high-level strategy instead of being buried in the noise. Okay, Pillar 2. And you're going to want to listen to this one because it's a big one. The entire concept of a network perimeter is being completely redefined. In fact, it's shrinking all the way down to a single, hypercritical point: identity. For so long, we were all about building these digital fortresses, right? But with the cloud and remote work, those walls have just melted away. And attackers know it. They're not trying to smash down the door anymore when they could just steal the key. They're using really clever techniques like grabbing session cookies to just waltz right past multi-factor authentication, making identity the true battleground. Just let that number sink in for a second. 80 to 1. That's the predicted ratio of non-human, we're talking machine and AI identities, to actual human employees by 2026. So the question is, how on earth do you manage security for a workforce that is overwhelmingly not human? Well, the answer is a new kind of control: agentic identity management. And this is not your typical one-time login check. Forget that. Think of this as a system of non-stop, context-aware evaluation for every single digital actor in your environment, whether it's a person, a service account, or an AI agent. Let's move to our third pillar. And this one tackles a threat that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but believe me, it's fast becoming our reality. We're talking about the problem of shadow AI agents. Now, this slide really hits home because it draws a perfect parallel. We all remember the nightmare of shadow IT, right? Employees signing up for whatever SaaS apps they wanted, creating data silos everywhere. Well, think of shadow AI as that exact problem, but on steroids. Now your employees can build and deploy their own autonomous agents that can access sensitive data, often with leaky prompts that risk bleeding out your company's intellectual property. And this all boils down to a very practical and, frankly, kind of scary question for every CISO. How do you govern what you can't even see? When some well-meaning engineer on your team builds a custom AI agent over the weekend to automate their job, how do you make sure it's not a walking security breach? The modern control for this is something called model armor. Basically, it takes your security policy, that document that usually just sits on a shelf, and it bakes it right into your network. It implements validation layers at the gateway that act like an automated security guard, enforcing your AI rules and turning them into active, live controls. All right, on to Pillar 4, and for this one, we're going deep into the tech stack. As our operating systems and our applications get more and more secure, the bad guys are just doing what they always do. They're moving their focus one layer beneath them, to the virtualized infrastructure. This is what Mandiant calls the hypervisor blind spot. And let me tell you, a single compromise at this foundational layer can be catastrophic. We're talking game over. An attacker could potentially gain control of your entire digital estate. And the really scary part is that most of our traditional security tools are completely blind to what's happening at this level. So the solution isn't some new magic bullet. It's actually about rigorously applying a principle we already know and love: zero trust. We have to extend that never trust, always verify mindset deep into the infrastructure itself. Every virtual switch, every storage controller, you have to treat every single one as an untrusted entity that needs to be continuously verified. And that brings us to our fifth and final pillar. After all this tech-heavy talk, we come right back to the human element. But we're moving way beyond basic security awareness. We are talking about the human firewall 2.0, and it's powered by something called AI fluency. I mean, just look at this slide. It shows how far we need to go. That old "don't click the link" training is completely obsolete in the face of these new threats. The 2026 requirement is all about deep, practical AI fluency, and you get that through hands-on cyber war games and interactive workshops, not some boring, passive e-learning module you click through once a year. And here's why it matters so much. Social engineering is about to get hyper-personalized and terrifyingly realistic. We have to train our people to spot the subtle, almost imperceptible nuances of an AI-generated deepfake or a cloned voice. It is a completely new skill set for a new era of threats. Now let's be realistic. Implementing a framework this advanced isn't something you can just do overnight. It requires deep, specialized expertise. And this is where having the right strategic partners becomes absolutely critical. You need partners with proven, hands-on knowledge of the cloud security tools that power these controls, who can really guide your organization through this massive shift. So, to bring it all together, here it is, your blueprint for modern defense. 1. Build that agentic SOC. 2. Rethink everything and treat identity as the new perimeter. 3. Get in front of shadow AI before it gets ahead of you. 4. Extend zero trust deep into your infrastructure. And finally, number 5, build a culture of genuine AI fluency. And all of this brings us to the final, crucial question. This report makes it crystal clear that the era of logging in isn't coming, it's already here. So the only question left for you to answer is your defense strategy truly ready for what's coming next?